piece of furniture, they make this leap of faith. Hopefully they're not going to fall, and that's how they learn to walk. It's a normal process. But as Caleb was walking, we noticed something was not a normal development. Something was abnormal about it, and we looked into it. So he would be walking, and very often he would plant his face right on the ground. And this happened over and over and over again, and we started to question what's going on. Why is he falling right on his face? He had a bloody nose, bloody lip. Seems like his nose was always bloody. Either he would scratch it off, or he would fall on his face again. So after much research, we have found out that he missed a very important milestone in his development.
Можна удалить, наприклад, із девайсу моєму этому, можна його удалити, воно не удаляється. А? Шко, чого його не можна удалити? Воно не тільки пам'ять займає, мене пам'яті немає, я не можу удалити файли, у мене дуже багато файлів, які мені не треба. Ну я їх не можу удалити, де воно не удаляється.
Яка там займає? Там пару мегабайт. Це обикновений файл PDF. Музика пише. Вони, якщо їх всіх удалиш, там буде 100 мегабайтів.
То чого вони не приходять на этот приходять, що ваша пам'ять заповнена почти?
Це щось друге.
Може це що фотки, у мене
So it's not always good to skip steps, don't you think? Sometimes it's not the time to celebrate. And therefore, the topic of today's sermon is going to be don't skip a step. So DSS, remember, don't skip a step. And we're going to talk about this. Have you been struggling with the sin in your life that has been happening over and over and over again? Whether it is covetousness, gossip, as the poem was talking about, you know, disrespecting leaders, stealing, maybe lying, jealousy, looking at the things that you're not supposed to look at. And the list can go on and on and on. Maybe disobedient to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is nudging you to do something, but you deliberately decide to disobey Him. And this is happening again. And you're like, what is going on? I'm trying so hard. I'm putting all my effort. But something is not happening. The fact of the matter is, the sin and the sinful nature that we all carry, it is much more powerful than we are able to fight against. And in the Old Testament, we see many times the Lord has specifically spoken and said, this is my battle. And in the New Testament, same thing. It is the battle of the Lord. It is His battle. And we have always heard, you have to fight the sin, you have to resist the lying, you have to. But sooner or later, if you haven't found out this yet, guess what? You're going to mess up again. And Apostle Paul, he is suggesting a solution to this. And this could be a revolutionary for some of us. Maybe some of you have already got this, but it took a while for me to get this principle. And I hope that by the end of this sermon, we're going to be encouraged, and we're going to be able and be equipped to fight against sin. But how do we fight it? Apostle Paul, he says in Galatians chapter 5, verse 6. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. Verse 16. Walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of your flesh. Let's read it again. Walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the desires of your flesh, another translation says. Now let me ask you, who in the Old Testament had the Holy Spirit? I'll give you a hint. 4 categories. Let's start with Judges. Judges, kings, prophets, and priests. 4 categories of people. That's it. That's it in the Old Testament. So can you imagine when the Holy Spirit came upon David, And he started singing the songs, and the whole congregation in Jerusalem is edified. And maybe some of the kids, some of the teenagers, maybe some of the adults, they would come up to him and say, David, can you tell us what it's all about? How does it feel? What does it feel to be empowered by the Holy Spirit and proclaim this with confidence? And I think David would probably explain, and Judges, and all those people who had that. But far from having or being able to have this gift. Now, look at what God speaks through prophet Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 27. He is looking ahead after the times of Jesus, and he says, I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will keep my judgments, and you will do them. Wow. These people could have said, Lord, why is this injustice?
Sorry.
I'm going to live my life, and I'm not going to have this gift. But God was looking far in
Допустим,
advance,
някакъв
and he
филм,
was saying,
защото само аз
"There's
разбирам.
gonna be a time,
Аз
different,
после
the
ще го
time
гледам.
is right now." After Jesus came, he lived, he died, he rose, and he's sitting at the right hand.
Моите няма да ти харесват. Ти кажи.
Каква тематика?
Няма значение. Не знам. Нещо на Жак Ван на Арнолд, на Брюс Ли или няколко още бяха там.
Рамбо гледал ли си?
Рамбо отдавна. Нищо не помня.
Първа кръв, Рамбо, първа кръв.
Нищо не помня. Едно време, колко съм стар, едно време гледах.
Не помниш за какво се разказва?
Да, дай да го пусна.
Рамбо, първа кръв. Ама не знам на български дали има превод. Отивам до туалетна, че го търси, айде. Отивам до туалетна.
Часть втора.
Hey, Preston!
No. Guys, the movie Rambo, starring Sylvester Stallone, was made in 1982. That's literally 40 years ago. What the heck? 40 years ago. Wow. Dude. Wow. It's a lot of time, bro. It's a lot of time. Yine.
Намерил да са титри или ня?
Не, аудио, има аудио. Защото
Ела нямам.
Ти можеш ли да представиш, че... Не.
Нямам.
Аз трябва да снимам. Можеш ли да представиш, че филма беше направен през 82 година?
Какво?
Това за 40 години, Слави. 40 години.
Първа кръв е, не? Първа серия.
Толкова бързо време лети.
Пустай го. Що? Той е интересен. Той има 2-3 серии. Първа, втора и трета.
Знам. Обаче не са толкова хубави като първа.
Първа кръв от вола.
Да.
Той вече се връща от войната. Неговото хора ги няма.
Силвестър Сталон.
Живее един свят.